Greetings, fellow Gorehounds, and welcome back to a Blood Splattered vlog. I'm the Horror Guru.
I'm Count Jackula.
And today we're going to talk about Keeper, the latest folk horror creepy film from director Osgood Perkins of Longlegs, The Monkey, and The Black Coat's Daughter fame. But before we watch this movie, we need something very particular to talk about this very specific film. And that is, we need ominous, delicious chocolate cake. Ah, yes. Oh, yeah. Tastes like we're gonna die. So, this movie is about a couple, Liz and Malcolm, who go to Malcolm's cabin in the middle of the woods. It's apparently his family cabin that he's had for like years, passed down from generation to generation. So this is kind of a big step in their relationship. And Liz is clearly like kind of on the fence with Malcolm, but what she doesn't know, that the audience knows, is that in the opening credits of this movie, we watched as some mysterious man picked up a bunch of girls and then led them to some sort of bloody destination. We have no idea if they were killed, if they were eaten, or what, but we know they were screaming and covered in blood. So this movie kind of has that Hitchcockian bomb under the table thing where we, the audience, know something's gonna happen, but the character herself doesn't necessarily know she's in danger, which adds a lot of tension to the movie. But the other thing that makes the movie compelling is that you also are not entirely sure what kind of danger she's in. You don't know if it actually is gonna be Malcolm who she should be afraid of. You don't know why she should be afraid. We just know that some girls have gone missing, because of the opening scene. But what we do know is that Malcolm is shifty as fuck.
Malcolm is the way Malcolm is played is he is so awkward.
Yes.
You can't tell whether he's awkward on purpose or if he's hiding something.
That's the thing I like about the performance. Now, Malcolm is actually played by Donald Sutherland's son. I don't know his first name, so I'll put it right here. But what I like about his performance is his awkwardness could either be him just feeling weird about like taking this next step in his relationship.
Yeah.
His awkwardness could also be because he knows he's going to do something very terrible to her and he's kind of guilty about it. Or his awkwardness could just be an act.
Yeah.
Like a way to come across as unassuming, and at some point the other shoe's gonna drop. You don't know as the audience member, but what you do know is that it's very suspicious. It doesn't feel right. Something's off about it.
Yeah.
But even more than that, there's some implications early on in this movie that there's something possibly supernatural happening with this cabin, because there's things that happen that we'll talk more about in the spoiler section that no person could do on their own unless they have magical powers.
Yeah.
But we don't know if Malcolm's doing it, if there's an entity in the house doing it, or if there's some outside force that's going to prey upon both of them by the end of the film. We're not entirely sure. But what we do know is that no matter what, Liz is in danger.
Yeah.
And so we mainly follow her, and she is played by
Tatiana Maslany.
Of She-Hulk fame.
The movie is primarily carried on her back because while Malcolm is the other lead in this movie, most of the movie follows her, and there's portions of the movie where she's in the house all alone and we're just watching her react to things. And she is phenomenal in the role.
Yeah.
She is great. She's just as great as she was in She-Hulk and in anything else you've seen her in. So if you like her, you're gonna like her in this. Now, if I had one complaint about the movie, it is a slow burn.
Yeah, it takes a while to get moving.
That being said, while it is a slow burn, it has a hell of a payoff. The last act of this movie delivers. And there's enough stuff that happens that leaves you wondering what the hell is going on. Like some truly weird shit happens to keep you engaged even when it feels like the movie's starting to spin its wheels a little bit.
Yeah, you could tell the movie is telling you something. You just don't know until you get to the end.
You can kind of tell that this was a movie made during the writer's strike. The script probably could have used another pass, another polish. That being said, I think it's still good.
Yeah, Osgood Perkins is like 4 for 5 so far.
Yeah. The only one we didn't really care for was the I'm the Pretty Thing in the house.
The Pretty Thing in the House is the one I didn't like.
Yep.
Everything else has been great.
Everything else is great, and this is definitely good. I don't think it's as good as Longlegs or The Monkey, which are just phenomenal. I even think that probably The Black Coat's Daughter is a little better than this.
Oh yeah, Black Coat's Daughter is... better than this movie?
What do you think?
About on par.
About on par? Fair enough. I can see that. I do think this is a little better than Hansel and Gretel, but I do love Hansel and Gretel, or Gretel and Hansel. Whichever one that he did.
The one that he did, yeah.
The one that he did. But I do think this one is better than that. I think that this movie got a really weird reaction mainly because his last two movies were so fucking strong. People wanted something on that par, not realizing that this was kind of a writer's strike movie that they made with what they had at the time.
Not only was this a writer's strike movie, it's a little different.
And it's much smaller in scale than the more recent movies. He will probably go back to making movies like that in his next go-around. Starring the same actress, by the way. He really likes working with her. She was also in The Monkey as the mom.
Yeah.
In The Monkey. I think it's a good time. I think people were really way too harsh on it, to be honest.
I think the story is as good, but the movie's a little rougher.
I could see that. I could totally see that.
That's how I would put it.
But what the movie does deliver on is the movie does deliver on tension, on the creepy factor, and when you get to the ending, holy shit.
Well, yeah, that's when the movie blows you away.
That's the best part of this movie. I guarantee once we get past like the phase where people are worried about spoilers for this movie, since it's a relatively recent release, you're going to start seeing GIFs from the end of this movie. And it's going to entice people to go, hey, what movie is that from? And it is a folk horror movie. If you like folk horror movies, then you're probably going to like this. I can't explain how it's a folk horror movie without spoiling it. And the trailers did not indicate that it's a folk horror movie. So fans of folk horror may not have checked this movie out, not realizing that's what it is.
Yeah.
So just know that this is a folk horror movie. And with that said, check out Keeper. It's currently available to rent or buy on various streaming services. Pick your poison and enjoy. And with that said, let us move on to the spoilers.
Okay, so there's two parts to the fucking horror here. One, there are forest spirits.
Yes.
That are continuously like fucking around this house. Not literally fucking, but like doing shit around the house that freaks people out, and occasionally they eat people.
Yes. We watch as they eat Dr. Malcolm's cousin's like
girlfriend
or whatever. Prostitute he picked up.
Yeah.
I wasn't quite clear. I think it was a prostitute he picked up that he called his girlfriend based on everything around her.
In the ugliest dress I've ever fucking seen.
Absolutely. So
my God.
We literally watch as like she's trying to get like an Uber in the woods and like a tree eats her.
Yeah. It's like, that's the moment you realize, oh, I have no idea what this movie is going to be doing.
What the fuck was that?
Yeah.
We actually went back since we were watching it at home and rewound it and watched it again just to make sure we saw what we saw.
Yeah.
And there's some smaller weird things that happen in this movie. One of the first things you see that's very strange is there's a point in which she's taking a bath and like the steam in the bath is like fogging up the window.
Yeah.
And like a heart forms on it, like someone made a heart.
Someone's drawing.
But there's no one there.
Yeah.
So, the second part of the horror of this movie is, yes, she is in danger of Dr. Malcolm and his cousin. Both of them, it turns out, when they were lads, found a forest spirit frolicking, not naked, but frolicking. Close to naked, but frolicking in like a nightgown.
Yeah.
In the forest, pregnant. They shot her, threw her in a pig pen where she gave birth to these creatures, these forest spirits. They're never given a name or really explained as to what they are in the movie, but you can kind of intimate they're like either nymphs or they're fairies or there's something in between. Some of the things they do actually kind of reminded me of like Japanese yokai at times, to be honest.
Well, yeah, because this is the one that's got the really long neck.
Yes.
You know, like these are like creatures.
Yes. So they figure out really quickly these things get hungry, and when they feed these things, the things bless them with longer life and great health. So, for the last 200 years, they've been picking up women, bringing them to their cabins in the woods, and feeding those women to these creatures. So she is in danger of the two of them, but at one point things start to shift. There's a point in which Dr. Malcolm's cousin is going to kill her before she even realizes that's what he's going to do. And one of the spirits eats him instead.
Yeah.
Like decapitates him. It's pretty fucking brutal, actually, when you see his head just fucking dangling there. And you're wondering, like, why the fuck did they do that? Well, one of the things that's revealed later on in this movie is that she looks strikingly similar to their mother from back in the day. So Dr. Malcolm made a classic stupid man mistake. He thought that the spirits would be pleased if he brought them this woman that looked like their mother, but instead what he did is he gave them a reason to turn on him.
Yeah.
Because now their mother is home and they don't need to serve him anymore. So the final twist of this movie is he throws her in the basement and the spirits all like converge on her. And this is when you get to see them all in like bright light. And so you got like this long neck one with this long hair that kind of looks like a Japanese yokai spirit.
Yeah.
You got this other one that has like a face of faces and each face is one of the female victims that they fed.
That one is wild.
That is probably the most horrifying one, to be honest. Like, holy crap. And there's another one.
And they knew it was awesome because they hold on that shot for a good while.
And there's this other one that just kind of has this like static, almost mannequin-like face, but the mouth is open and it's constantly like dripping honey or something.
Yeah. A lot of them are based off of no masks.
Yeah.
You know, if you're familiar with Japanese no theater.
And these are just the ones that you see. There's other ones that are still kind of in the shadows. So there's like a bunch of them that live in this fucking house. And they all converge on her, and you think that she's gonna get eaten up and die.
Yeah.
But instead, Malcolm gets poisoned and wakes up upside down, and he has become an old man.
Yeah.
His blessings have been taken away, and standing in front of him is Liz, who is now the new keeper of the creatures.
Yes.
So the title of the movie, Keeper, actually has two meanings. The first one is, she's a keeper.
Yeah.
You should keep her. She's a keeper. You know, as people say, when you bring a girl home and they really like her, they say she's a keeper. The second meaning is, he was a keeper of these creatures.
Yeah.
And at the end of the movie, she becomes the keeper of the creatures instead. And they'll probably be more loyal to her because no matter what, she looks like their mom. And she's gonna always look like their mom because she's now gonna get the blessings that he used to get. My favorite scene in this movie though is when she's on the phone with her friend and like trying to get her friend to like come out and get her because she's like no longer feeling safe in the house. And the long neck spirit like comes down from the rafters behind her and then his neck just kind of stretches out, or her neck. I don't know. I don't know if it was a he or she. It had long hair, so maybe it's, I don't know. It's long neck just fucking like tilts around and like looks around her like just out of her field of vision. That was probably my favorite scene because that was the scene where I could feel the goosebumps forming all over my body. This movie legitimately creeped me out. So it gets a pretty good score for that alone.
Yeah. It gets a thumb up.
Also, thumbs up for the good for her ending. Cause
that was fun.
That was awesome. So if you're looking for a fun and creepy, but kind of slow folk horror movie to watch this holiday season, then check out Keeper, because this movie is indeed a keeper. And with that said, my fellow gorehounds, where can I find you, Count Jackula?
Well, you can find me here on YouTube, where I stream every weekday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we talk about all kinds of groovy things like monsters, madmen, mayhem, and we would just love to have you come down and ask us questions and hang out. And what about you?
Y'all know me, I'm the Horror Guru. You can find me at the Horror Guru on various social media platforms, but these days I primarily use Blue Sky, so follow me on there. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to ring that notification bell so that you're notified of my videos immediately upon their upload. And if you'd like to help out either of us more directly, be sure to check out our Patreon pages, and remember, if you decide to go the Patreon route, even $1 a month can go a long way, but we will certainly accept more, and we could use more given the current state of the American economy. And with that said, my fellow gorehounds, I want you to comment below, and be sure to comment below using the hashtag Don't Eat the Cake. Because in the movie, one of the methods, Malcolm and his brother, the doctor and his brother, cousin, you're right, they feed cakes to their victims that are spiked so that they will be knocked out and they can be eaten without much muss or fuss. So don't eat the cake, unless you're me. Because goddamn it, this movie made me want cake.
You fat ass.
Yup. I want this cake, I want it.